I think in like the world of entrepreneurship, you always hear about like integrator versus visionary, right? I'm sure you're familiar with the concept. And to me, it sounds like Aaron is like the sales type. He's kind of the visionary. And you're more the systems integrator type of guy. So is that why you guys work well together, or would you rebuttal that with something else?
Yeah, kind of. So that was why I think the partnership didn't completely work from the get-go.
Okay.
Was because I do consider myself more of a visionary as well.
Okay.
I just understand the importance of the systems, of the integrator. And so I've built a company kind of delivering that service at scale. And initially so Aaron runs a company right now called Sales Momentum. So initially we kind of co-founded that company together, and Aaron is definitely much more talented and skilled on the customer acquisition side than I am. To me, the most leverage that you can build and the easiest way to scale client acquisition is by just delivering on the promises that you make to the marketplace and over delivering for your clients. And it creates kind of this flywheel of customer acquisition. So that's kind of always been my focus. Whereas Aaron is he loves the hunt, man. So he's, one client, next client, next client. He can also do the fulfillment. He understands and he cares about his clients as well. But what really excites him is that next customer. And when we were initially building Sales Momentum, I was the one who was doing the fulfillment, building out the SOPs and doing that sort of thing to scale myself out of it. And he was just acquiring customers too fast. I was just like, bro, we do not have the capacity to do this. Yeah, we had we loved working together. He's a great dude. One of my best friends, and basically just had a call with him where I was like, we're growing similar businesses in different directions.
Yep.
Right. So it's like, I really want to build out a fulfillment team and see how we can do this at scale, and your strength is the acquisition side, and you want to do more of the sales coaching, sales consulting. At the time he had a really high, a really good gig with 0%, where he was kind of their fractional sales director. He was, able to continue building his company on the side, but he was making, really good money overseeing the sales team there and producing yet another great case study.
Yep.
And I was like, honestly, if I were you, I would focus on that for the next 6 months. You'll have more than your needs met. You'll be able to bankroll and then decide what you want to build with yet another sick $1 million a month case study under your belt. And I kind of I want to be able to do things that are not scalable right now to figure out how to scale and solve this problem. Because being able to build systems at scale is a very nuanced thing. And there's tons of people out there that are trying to sell you cookie cutter systems, but I didn't want to do that. And I knew that it was going to be very difficult and it was going to take a lot of experimentation and iteration. And I was like, bro, I'm going to have to go way slower than you want to go right now. And so I kind of got to do this on my own. And I was like, hey, it might work out to where I solve the fulfillment systems at scale and you solve customer acquisition at scale, and we meet back up in the middle. And I think that's kind of what's happening
where
now.
you're at now.
So explain to me what the problem is that you're solving, because I have a really good idea being in the business for a while, but a lot of people watching right now are probably like, what is this guy talking about? Building systems at scale? What is all of that? Obviously I know the value that you bring to business owners, but if you could just explain that problem that both you and Aaron are solving, I think that'd be helpful.
Yeah, for sure. So I think the reason why it was so difficult to solve initially is kind of because people do overcomplicate it. And so you're being hit with ads and, oh, there's this new mechanism, this new secret, this new system.
Yeah.
And so you're constantly thinking oh, I have to reinvent the wheel every single time. And so it just took me a while to really distill it down into there are essentially 4 systems, right? You have customer acquisition, you have customer fulfillment, you have talent acquisition, and you have delivering on the promise to your talent. So
talent retention.
Yeah. And those are the only 4 systems that you need to build. And then there's 4 components to every system. There is people, process, technology, and data. So essentially breaking down each one of those systems and figuring out what are the different components and then helping people build them. Now, what makes it complicated is the people aspect, right? And there's different variables going into each system that you want to build based off of your existing team, skill sets, brand recognition, the list goes on. But I like to try and break business down to logic and math, right? There is no new mechanisms. There's no new secrets. Everyone's been doing the same shit. Everyone read the same book by Russell Brunson. You know, like everyone's doing the same thing and they're just trying to like dress it up as a new thing so that you become curious. You click on the link, you get on the call, and you can get closed. I don't know if I necessarily answered your question as to what I do for really businesses, but it's
thing right there, because those 4 systems and the 4 components in that, you could talk to probably 150 business owners that you know, and I doubt any one of them would have all 4 systems dialed with all 4 components actually being tracked properly. So that's really what you guys solve.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
We help people build those 4 systems and make sure that all 4 aspects are taken care of. We can only right now, when I say we, I mean my business, Impact Operations. Aaron's solving a different problem. His is more like growth oriented, like he's solving customer acquisition and marketing and revenue enablement, RevOps style stuff. He's taking a systematic approach to doing so, but we are specifically focused on building out those 4 systems and reverse engineering how to do so. The one thing that we can have not yet been able to solve for is people.
Yeah.
And so we've tried to, you know, just like implement the same, like, okay, this same system worked for a different business in your exact niche. It should work for you, but the people are different.
Yep.
Right. And the leadership is different. So that's really the key component. I have a project I'm working on in the background to be able to solve for people very systematically.
Are they robots or?
Huh? It's a robotic way of approaching it, but basically having every single person that we've worked with take specific types of assessments, so that we can reverse engineer like what the top people in each discipline, how they score on their like DISC assessment, their Colby index assessment, and their IQ assessment.
That's smart.
Okay. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this short clip, check out the full interview here. And if you want to see more clips from this episode, check it out right here.